Welcome to a brand new episode of the Fitish podcast. If you heard that, that's okay. Fran comes in late, super red in the face. And if I didn't know that you had been working out, I would have some questions about we were on the way in
So
this morning.
I think it's the first time that I get on the mat since a year ago.
Oh, I'm aware. I was actually just venting to Garrett, and Garrett, apparently follows bro code as all men tend to do. And he said to me, Garrett's our producer, and he said to me, I was bitching to him. Well, kind of. And I didn't want to
Yeah,
bitch
no,
because
no,
then
no,
people
for
are gonna
sure.
go, to me, Jenna, you're not supporting Fran's healthy fucking endeavors. No,
Well, they
I
already
am.
know that.
No, I am. But so for a year, y'all, just behind the scenes here, I don't work out tons, obviously. I'm not some like everyday person as much as I used to be, unfortunately. But any of y'all that have had a baby, like it's next to impossible. And for the women that do that every day, you're fucking amazing. But I work out. I'm hot and cold with it, right? Like I'll go a couple weeks actually without exercising at all, and then I'll have a week where I go twice, maybe 2 or 3 times, but then I like won't go again for a couple weeks. That's kind of where my life is at lately. But I always invite Francisco, and of course, like we don't really our schedules don't line up. He gets up with Remy at 6 a.m., lets me sleep in, which is amazing. Or I'll spend afternoons with Remy and Fran will work, and we just don't have the same schedule. Regardless, though, we do a lot of pop ups, so I'm always inviting him because I actually love that. Like, I love not an everyday workout with your partner, but I I find that like kind of arousing, like sweating, working out together, like going on a run together. I do like that sort of thing. But Fran's, been on his strict diet where he wasn't allowed to work out because this was about shedding weight. He's in such a caloric deficit. He's starving to death and like
That's so true.
cannot. I mean, you can't though. You weren't supposed to exercise.
No, but
But that was only in the last
I've
six
never been
weeks.
starving, and I wasn't supposed to work out
Right.
because I was supposed to have like a brisk walk
A brisk walk. Oh,
or
yeah,
like
sure. Well, running
rowing.
around a kid is
Yeah. So
keeping up with a kid.
yeah.
But regardless, that was
But
only the last 7 weeks. The
yeah,
last
I don't know.
365 days prior to that, there hasn't really been. I mean, there's a rower sitting in the guest
Oh,
bedroom
I
that you
used it
want there
4 times.
4 times.
I'm still number 4 Mexican, faster Mexican in the rowing machine. But anyhow,
You would think Mexicans would be faster at rowing,
they're good at swimming and jumping
swimming and jumping.
and running. But so I went to
Our
this.
producer finds this conversation shameful.
So I went through this year of focusing 100% on family and Remy and racing and all that. So I realized that I was getting very unhealthy
Sure.
and I wasn't
I
doing
wouldn't say you're very unhealthy.
anything about it. Like
Yeah,
besides the opposite. Like I used to at night I used to devour everything that
yeah,
had a
that's true.
gram of sugar.
I would be, like, almost asleep, and I would smell McDonald's french fries, and I'm like, "You ordered?" You're like, "It's just a small burger." Like, you would order food, and y'all, when you're almost asleep and you're like, "I shouldn't do it." Like, I could just do this, but then you do it, and it's amazing, and you wake up in the morning like, "Fuck."
So I went to this trick. I found a friend, told me you need to do this,
Yeah.
this, and that. Went through that path. It's been a life changing path. I feel healthier. I feel younger. I have more energy.
Yeah, you do. That's
Like
so good.
I haven't run in since we went to Mexico. I think Mexico City. Not last time. The time before last.
Commando, when we did Commando,
And
that's right.
it wasn't horrible. Like of course
Hold
I'm.
on, you're getting ahead of what I've been trying to say this whole time. This is what I mean, we gotta be on the same page here. The point of all of this was, you call me 2 days ago after all this, which is amazing. But I've been asking you, you're like, I'll let you know when I can work out again. I'll let you know when I can work out again. Because I'm like, come on, let's go on a Saturday morning. But obviously, like, we need to get like last weekend you said this for the first time. You were like,
That's when
what
I
do you want
found
to do
out.
for Father's Day? You were like, well, let's go work out together. But it was literally like that morning. And I'm like, but we have a baby. So, on the weekend, y'all know, like, unless you have childcare, like, you can't go work out together unless we went on a run together and took him in a stroller and you didn't want to do that. So I get a phone call on Monday of this week from Fran, and I'm leaving. I had picked up my mom and Remy. They were at a play center, and Fran is on speakerphone. He goes, I popped my cherry. I go, which cherry are we talking about?" I'm like, "I think all your cherries have been popped."
No, not at all.
I think all of them have been popped, right?
No, there's still one that hasn't been popped.
I That's up for debate. I think that time you were robbed, you were raped, but we haven't you've never confirmed that. So,
But I have a rule.
anyway,
If I don't remember, it didn't
Fran
happen.
goes, "My workout cherry." My jaw dropped, y'all. I went, "What?" Like, because 'cause I'm excited that he wants to work out again, but he just up and out of nowhere with no heads up, when I actually had my mom that day, she watches Remy on Monday, he just went and
You
did a
weren't
Barry
feeling good.
well, I know, and that's what's like he just went and did a Barry's boot camp, which I've done a couple recently and asked him to go with me. No, no, no. So y'all
And in
get
the
it.
middle of the day.
Okay, but this is what I mean. That you're just defending it. I'm allowed to feel a certain way. I'm not mad at you. I'm just kind of like frustrated because it's something you know how much. Even when you and I do get in arguments, I've said to you like, I try. One of our bigger issues is like communication about like spending time together, and I've been like, let me know. Let's go work out together. So now, same with just now. He's red in the face because he just went and did a hot yoga class. Of course, that's another story. I am really sick right now, and so I haven't been able to do anything. But no, I'm not I should be able to feel a certain way. You don't have to agree with it. It's just that I feel frustrated because I wanted to be a part of that. Like I've waited for a year for you to want to work out again. And I ask you all the time to work out with me and you don't. And now all of a sudden out of nowhere you do it where, okay, that's great. I'm excited for you and your health, but I'm also selfishly, and I acknowledge that it's selfish, but I'm selfishly like, because we're in a relationship and that's something that means a lot to me and I've been wanting to do it. That's all. I'm not like end of the world mad or anything like that. I was just kind of disappointed. Like, well, fuck, Fran. Like,
But
I've been wanting to work out with you for a long time, and I should get the benefit of watching you suffer with that first workout back on the treadmill because that shit's so hard. And Garrett says to me, I kind of vented to him before you walked in. I'm like, he's doing a workout. That's why he's running late. And I had kind of wished that, I had been there. He goes, oh, well, it has to be his idea. Things with guys, it has to be our idea.
no, and it's not only that. Like, I'll be very happy to work out with you, but every time that you have invited me, and which I appreciate it very much, it's been at a time that it's in exactly the middle of the day.
No, I did a 315 berries, which is exactly what you did on Monday.
Yeah, but that day, like the thing
I
with
understand. You have
something you have to
ex
understand is
reasons.
everything that Monday a meeting got canceled. 15 minutes before, I had a
Yeah,
backpack. Let's do it.
but
I
that's what I
cannot
mean. You
plan
kind of
ahead.
you don't plan ahead, and
I
that's where the
can't.
root I know, but that's where the root of a lot of our argument stems is because it's really frustrating for me with a baby. Like, unfortunately, life takes more planning when you have a family, like traveling and things. And that's where some of the frustration on my end, I'm just explaining to you. You wonder why I get mad. It's like I get frustrated because I do like to plan, or when I have pop-ups, I always kind of tell you my schedule. Even like tonight, for instance, I've known for 3 weeks that I have a workout event tonight. Now, if you had wanted to join, we could ask my mom to babysit and you could come support. I mean, as a brand, we do a lot of workout classes. So you could come do some
Yeah,
of those, and that would mean a lot to me.
100%.
That's all I'm saying.
And I'm starting to look a little more like athletic, so it's gonna be actually positive. Before would have been negative to the brand. Before would have been fattish instead of
See
fitish.
the excuses, y'all. I didn't want to do it because I'm out of shape. You are not out of shape
No,
in the
and
slightest. We are a community for everyone. I actually get so excited when women come here. I'm just, as an aside, letting y'all know we're redoing our space a bit. We're excited. We're going to have a retail store. I'm kind of trying to concept what that looks like, kind of thinking ahead in the year of just like ways to grow the brand. And it's so cool for me when we do pop up events. And it's so refreshing, I should say, that so many of you that come to work out are like, "Oh my gosh, am I gonna be okay? I haven't worked out in so long." You drive really far, you take time out of a Saturday morning. You feel comfortable enough to come here because you know that I always tell Raven or Alora or whoever I have teaching a class that I'm friends with, like, "Don't kill my friends and family and customers that come in here to work out," because that's the thing that kills me about a lot of the workouts, especially in a bigger city, is it's almost like how hard can it be? Some of the classes you and I do, it's like it's almost like a thing, like
I
they
like
try
that.
to like hot box you out of there. They're like, let's make it as hot as possible and as hard as possible. And it's really intimidating, I think, for a lot of us. Like, I'm the type of person that's like, no, I need to like get myself in shape a little bit before I even go to some of those places. I think a lot of us feel that way. It can be like a little, it's very humbling, to do a workout so hard. And I've always wanted to offer more workouts that, yes, working out should be difficult and should challenge you, but you shouldn't walk out of there like not able to walk for 2 days and dying and feeling kind of humiliated because it was so difficult. So I just get so excited when I have people come in like, "Oh my god, I haven't worked out in so long. Am I gonna be okay?" And I'm like, "Yes, that's what this is supposed to be. That's what Fitish is. Like, let's just do
No,
40-ish minutes and like get back into it."
you should never, doesn't matter the workout, you should never be ashamed of taking it easy.
I know, friend, but that's not how a lot of people feel, and maybe that's the difference with men and women, I don't know, but in general, it's really intimidating to go to a workout class where a lot of people are in really good shape, especially for me postpartum. You've gained weight, you haven't worked out in a long time, it's gonna be hard. And yeah, yoga is that way for me. Like I suck at yoga, and so that can be really hard for me to go do a yoga class because I don't like it. I've never liked it. I like how I feel when it's over, I guess, but, it's hard and I'm not flexible, and so every moment of the yoga class is really difficult for me to get through, and yeah, and you just kinda gotta get over the competitive side of yourself, right, and the ego, because if you can't touch your toes and do all of these things and everyone in the room's doing it, it sucks, honestly, it sucks, and so, yeah, it's really hard to
You
get over it.
always need to be competitive with yourself. Like,
Okay,
with yourself. Like, you
yeah.
see the improvements within yourself. I think that's the magic of yoga. You cannot compare yourself with others. They're in different stratospheres.
Well, that's very nice and
Yeah, you
introspective of
know.
you.
Oprah, if you were still around, I'm free next week.
She's alive, baby.
But she
She's
doesn't
with
have the
us.
show anymore.
She's not resting in peace. She is very much
She's
still
resting
alive.
in peace.
Oprah, if you were still around. She's here. Oprah is here. I
She
know.
here.
Yeah, what a great show she had for so long. I did something the other day. I wanna tell this story, actually. I haven't really told the story to anyone but you. And you kinda chastised me for it, understandably, which in hindsight it's just a shame. I'll just tell y'all what happened and you decide for yourself. So this was the day before Father's Day. I was on my way home from doing some work and I actually stopped to get Fran a couple other things for Father's Day. And so I'm really close to where we live and I'm at a red light and the car in front of me looked a little erratic and then stops about, gosh, I would say about 200, 300 feet before the red light. They were the first car at the intersection. I was a little confused. I looked, I could see it was a woman. The car looked a little beat up. And then the flashers came on and the light turns green. The car doesn't move. Everyone starts driving. I kind of give a little honk. Car doesn't move. So I pull around the car and I notice a brunette woman, a little bit older than me, I think, with glasses. And her head's on the steering wheel. It looks like she was sobbing hysterically. I noticed the windshield had cracks all through it. And I don't know what came over me. I mean, I was so close to the house, but I really thought, I'm still a good Samaritan at heart, even though the world is fucking shit, but especially that it was a woman. If it had been a man, yeah, honestly, I probably wouldn't have done anything. But I decided since I was kind of the only car around other than the other cars, I pull over in front of this car. I turn my flashers on. I leave my car running. I hop out. I run up to the window and I tap on it because I thought if she's in distress, I don't know, maybe she's clearly to me looked alive, but like something was really wrong. So I thought I'd at least call 911 for her and see if she was okay. Well, when I tap on the window, she looks up at me. I could immediately tell she was like super intoxicated. I mean, her car was a mess. She had glasses. I mean, she looked like a normal woman, she didn't look by any means like she was super homeless or something like that, but she looked really fucked up. And she looked at me, she looked so angry. She like threw her car in reverse as I'm standing at the window, like goes way backwards and then like peels around me, like almost mows me down. And so I take a bunch of photos of her license plate. She like goes through the red light at the intersection and turns left. And all these cars are kind of just looking like, what the fuck just happened? So I called 911 and I gave them the license plate and I reported her as being intoxicated because then again, I know you always think I'm a tattletale, but which I'm not. But like as a mother now, I'm like, that woman should not be on the road. Like her windshield shattered. She has no driver's side or passenger side mirrors in the little side things. The car was clearly dented now that I look back at photos, like everywhere. I mean, that car's been through hell. Like she's been in a few accidents. I mean, I think she was passed out at her steering wheel. Yeah, so I called 911 and the 911 operator was really nice, but, they're asking me so many questions that I realized, "Oh my god, I don't know if I remember what was she wearing?" I'm like, "Fuck, I'm so bad at this interrogation." I was like, "I think a t-shirt." She had glasses. I did get the license plate, so, if it was registered, they know, but I was like, "Yeah, I don't know." And then I'm like, I hate accusing someone of being drunk, but clearly something was wrong. She should not have been behind the wheel of a car. I'm a mom. What if she killed someone? I don't
No,
like that.
100%.
So I get home, I told Fran this whole story, and he goes, "Should not have left your car and done that." It was like his first thing. That was the first
No,
thing he
for
said to
sure.
me.
Like if she's intoxicated, she has a gun. She thinks that you're gonna be a threat. She can just shoot you.
Yeah, I know. I didn't even think that. I did, as I approached the car, go, there was a part of me that was like, "Man, I mean, I'm a smart person, Fran." I'm like, this could go poorly, So I started like approaching the car. I was very like careful about it,
So
but
you're a smart person. You thought this could go poorly, and you just still did it.
you know why, Francisco? Because I would certainly fucking hope that this makes me so mad that you do that. Instead of, for once, could you just say, "Wow, you're a really nice person." Like, I don't like that you did that,
But
but you're a really, instead of scolding me for it. It's
it
so
is really
frustrating because you
nice.
know what? If I was unconscious at a steering wheel and had just had some sort of aneurysm or heart attack, I certainly fucking hope that someone would come up to my car and check
100%.
on me and
No,
call
that is
911.
100%. You have a really valid
Like,
point there.
as a person who's not religious, I still believe in karma because I believe that that's more important than anything else. Whatever God you believe in, anything, I still think regardless, you should just be a nice human to other people because that's all that matters in this world to me. And I just want to be a nice person. I'm not approaching every single homeless person on the street and every single crazy person trying to make their life better. I'm not doing that. And if Remy had been in the car with me, absolutely not. I would not ever do anything that would jeopardize my life when he's under my care. And I do think differently now as a mom. I don't always. Think about how
No,
many
that
times we
is a
see stranded
for
people.
sure. Because if it were to be a stroke, seconds count.
I don't know. I just thought when I drove by her, she was looked like she was hysterically crying, and I just sometimes people just need help or support, and I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm
Or
glad
a
I'm
cry.
okay. Huh?
Or a cry.
Or a cry, but, like, a cry to the point that you're, like, causing issues in the road, I don't know. Yeah, I'll probably, maybe I won't do it again, but this is the world we live in now, right? You think about how many times maybe you've been in an accident and everyone just drives by. Everyone's busy, has places to go, no one pulls over to help anyone, and it's really sad. Unfortunately, that is the world that we live in now, that you can't trust that you're not gonna get shot every 5 seconds, and I hate that. I don't wanna live in a place like that. I don't wanna have to raise a son being like, "You can never ask a woman if she's okay or needs any help because she might," and that but it's true. It's the world that we live in now,
It's just
right?
crazy. Like, it's so crazy. I just actually hung up the phone with one of my agents in Houston, and she was telling me, hey, she thought I was about to be worried or upset that she's moving from Houston to Dallas. Like, dude, I'm perfectly fine. Long story short, she's moving from Houston because of the crime. It's like, that is insanity, the world we live in.
And she thinks Dallas is better?
Well, I'm pretty sure Dallas has somewhat better.
Like, one less shooting a weekend? Like, what?
It's just a little more contained, more conservative. Our thoughts are a little more Christian, you know?
I have found Houston to be more conservative than Dallas.
It's more muggy.
It's muggier? Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I bet you it's just the heat's getting to people. The heat makes people crazy,
Yeah, no,
right?
it's like the largest crime time is the
When it's
summer.
hot. Yeah, because the heat does,
And
it makes you
right
go
now
crazy.
it's
It's rough.
insane.
It is rough. I hope everyone's doing okay. It's so hard, isn't it? Especially for those of us that are parents with kids that are nonstop, which I know we're only just scratching the surface of like Remy's energy level. I took him to there's this place by our house called Play Street Museum, and we really like it, and it's super cute. It's one of those places that has the little different theme rooms, like an office and a kitchen and a pizzeria, and then it has like a big thing of Legos. It has an area with dragons and like a vegetable stand, so they can just kind of hop around and play. And I've noticed the dozen or so times that I've been there, or sometimes I take my mom and him, like that there's some of the same like, I'll see the same nannies who bring the kids. I'm like, "You all come every day?" She's like, "Yeah. I mean, the parents give us the money to do it, and it's a less of a mess we have to clean up, and there's 3 kids, and they love it, and they just wanna come every day and play." So I go to pick my mom and Remy up the other day. Oh my gosh. It was like a fucking club at 1 AM on a Saturday night. It was 1 in, 1 out. When I tell you 1 in, 1 out, they were in. Remy had been in for 2 hours, but, like, there were other
He
kids
had a
Remy's age.
reservation on
Yeah,
the
he had
table.
bottle service. Yeah, he had paid for a table. No, 1 in, 1 out. I walked in, y'all, my jaw dropped. I was like and it wasn't so crowded inside. I mean, they do a good job of managing it. It wasn't like it was so crowded that, it was, suffocating for the kids, but that's why they do it. But 1 in, 1 out? Like it's a nightclub? I couldn't even wrap my head around it, and they said it's not normal, and, it's probably between the hours of, like, 3 and 5, but it was also Juneteenth, so, a lot was closed, that I'm assuming if kids had daycare and other things, being a holiday, but anyway, it was wild, and it just kinda dawned on me, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I mean, this is what happens in the summer." I mean, it's even too hot to just go to the pool for a while, you know? What do you do with kids? I mean, they have so much energy, and they don't understand that they can't be outside for that long, and yeah, what a shame, right? And so places like that are amazing. I wish there were more. I've seen some in the other suburbs we have to check out,
Yeah,
but
we need to buy like a little cottage in Montana and just move there for.
it makes so much sense, doesn't it? Why people are like, "I need to go somewhere else for
Yeah,
the
just
summer."
like.
But you can't not everyone very few people can afford to do that sort of thing, like, we have to work
Well, we
and
do it at timeshare and we'll share it with you guys.
yeah, do y'all all wanna go in on a timeshare? Yeah. No, yeah, it's hard, it's hard. It does make you consider differently. Because man, I always knew it was hot here, but why am I so hot
I
lately?
think it's especially hot
Is it?
because I opened the door and normally it's like opening the oven door. Right now it's like opening a sauna door. It's
Yeah,
it's muggy.
it's suffocating.
It's like it's hard to breathe. We were in a hot yoga, which is pretty stupid. But
This glutton for punishment, you go to a hot yoga class by the way, the class you went to is also, like, hot just to be really hot, like, it's, like,
it's like
105.
105.
I mean, that is oppressively hot. Why are you doing that when it's so hot outside? And you hate being hot, hot.
Well, so I like to put myself in uncomfortable situations, so it teaches me to be able to be resilient.
Yeah. You should I know, I wish we had the money to get,
Cold plunge.
yeah, those things are so
I
expensive,
was
and I
looking
also,
into
like,
one
would
and
not
I got beaten to the punch. Like I was about to pick it up, surprise you. It was great.
surprise me with a cold plunge when I fucking hate it, and I hate being cold. I know, I did it one time, y'all, I said I was gonna go back. Cold if you've ever done cryo is like a walk in the park compared to a cold plunge. Some people thrive at being cold, and it is good for you. I do understand that 3 minutes of pure hell is really good for so many things, but man, wet cold is just a different kind of cold. I don't know. Have you ever cold plunged, Garrett? Do you love it? Did you hate it? Don't you're in between. I don't
I
know. I
think you
just
love the
found
results. You not don't love the being cold
I
as
was
fuck.
I don't if y'all haven't done this before, or maybe you have, but I was stunned at I've been in Lake Michigan, for instance. Like in the summer, my friends in college, like the ones from Michigan and Ohio, where I grew up, man, Northern Michigan's amazing, by the way, too. If for those of y'all that have or haven't been, right? It's so wonderful, but that water is so cold when you first get in it. It's pretty shocking, right? Like it hurts when you first jump in. But then you get used to it, right? So I don't know what temperature that lake tends to be, but it's pretty cold but you're able to acclimate pretty quickly. This is cold that you do not acclimate to, right? Like it is so cold that you've done a cold plunge at the like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The
30
Four Seasons.
degrees or whatever it is. I mean, it's like, or I guess it's 33. It's literally like right above freezing, which is insane. I'm like, wait, one more degree and it's ice? Like this is wild. And so you get in, you almost feel like you're gonna have a heart attack, like once you submerge all the way down to your neck, I was expecting it to be really painful and cold, and then all of a sudden it would just be you'd be like shaking and cold.
You
Like
feel like Jack?
I no, I couldn't. I was like, "Oh my god." I did it with a girlfriend, and I was looking at her, and I went first, and I'm looking at her going, "Oh my god, I can't breathe. Like, I think I'm gonna have to get out." And I was like, "No, I've heard about this. Just, like, take slow it down and take deeper breaths." Y'all, I only made it, I think, maybe 25 seconds the first time I did it, and we did it, like, 3 times each. I got out, she did it, and then I tried it again. And some people get in and can do it for 3 minutes the first time, which is just crazy, and I guess you just have to know it's super painful, but it felt like I had needles, like, stabbing me all over the body, and then everything kinda goes numb. It was a wild experience, and then I'm like, "Yeah, we should get one for the house." Absolutely not. Those things are so expensive, and I
Well,
don't know if
so
I'd do it every day.
the one I was about to get was in the middle range,
Yeah.
and there
Yes,
was
there are cheap ones, by the way. Yes, you can get a bucket and get in it,
no, no,
but
no.
the
But this
water
one
doesn't
was like
change over.
this one
Yeah.
was one that kept the water cold,
Yeah, you could refill it with ice and stuff.
and but yes, I'm still in the search for it.
It would be cool to have, I suppose. You would do it
Yeah,
a lot. We could do it together. But yeah, if you're wondering, people say it's great. I mean, obviously, it's super anti-inflammatory. It's great for your circulation and healing and recovery. And they do say, like, it kind of goes back to what you just said at the beginning of this. When you challenge yourself and get into an uncomfortable situation, a lot of people that do it, that claim it's helped them with their success is like, if you do something that's so kind of painful and hard, the rest of your day feels like a piece of cake. I did notice that that day I felt odd in a good way. Like I felt very relaxed and kind of refreshed
jovial.
and kind of, no, I felt weird. I wouldn't say jovial. Look, I only did it once, 3 times, but once, in one session. And I felt weird in a good way, if that makes sense, but I felt weird. I didn't quite feel like myself, and so I wonder if it's because my whole body was just functioning better.
Like, was it like better? That's this conversation is just pushing me to buy one like right now.
Oh, yeah, I felt weird. I felt alert, I felt relaxed, I felt hungry, probably because it kicked my metabolism into gear, but I have to tell y'all this, I'm biased because I really hate being cold. You know how some people don't mind being cold? When I get cold in the winter, which is why I always fared better in the summer, and I've always done really well with heat, like, I could get out and go on a run when it's a million degrees out. The cold weather bothers me much more. So that being said, I just really hate to be cold. Like I would rather be in a sauna for half an hour than be cold for half an hour. I don't know. It's just my body. I'm
Yeah,
just like kind of lizardy. Like I don't want to be freezing because I get cold and then I stay cold like all day. That's just me. But yeah, I think there must be something to it. A lot of people do it. Maybe it's just a fad too. I also think, but yeah, it's supposed to like burn through your brown fat, which is the hard fat to tap into. So you do like lose weight and it's really good for circulation and you're just like overall health, they say. Like kind of preventing illness and stuff. But I don't know, man. It's
I
hard.
thought we Mexicans all only have brown fat. You know,
We're gonna take a quick break and hear from some of the podcast sponsors, and we'll be back in just a bit. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. And y'all know Fran and I, we don't make a secret of the fact that we don't always get along. And having a baby has definitely put a lot of pressure on the relationship. And I'll tell y'all, our biggest excuse sometimes with not resolving our conflict is going to therapy is like we don't have the time, right? You have a baby, we both work full time and life gets busy and it can be really hard to find the time to get in the car together, go to therapy together. It's just really difficult. But BetterHelp totally alleviates that issue. They make it so easy and more affordable, by the way, to find a licensed therapist because all you have to do is take a short survey online. It takes less than 5 minutes. They're going to match you up with someone that fits your needs, whether you're an individual, you're going through a hard time, or you need some couples therapy. You can just open up that computer, schedule a time that works for both of you. Hey, Brian and I don't even have to be in the same place at the same time. So there's really no excuse to not seek therapy when you need a little bit of help. Fran has also used BetterHelp on his own, when we've gone through a hard time. BetterHelp is just so wonderful. And honestly, it's more affordable than some of these in person therapists. And if you've ever gone down that road, how hard it can be to find someone. You're asking friends, you're putting some of your relationship issues out there to people that you know personally. Do you have anyone you recommend? Then you're going to a therapist that also sees your friends. That whole thing can just be really weird. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try because it's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Again, it's just a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Find more balance with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/fitish today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp, HELP.com/fitish to get 10% off your first month. I have to say, we are so lucky to have a baby that eats anything. I guess he's not a baby anymore, a toddler, but he's a meat boy, he's a fish boy, he's an everything boy, and he's a hungry boy at that. And Butcher Box has just really saved dinner. I can't even count how many times at this point. What is Butcher Box? All right, we're going to get the finest quality meat and seafood delivered right to your front door. All you have to do is throw it in the freezer and then dinner's kind of ready to go once you thaw it, right? Fran and I particularly love red meat, and Fran's very specific about the red meat. I mean, you know the type of people that are like, no one else can pick it out, right? I have to go to the grocery store because I'm so snobby about my cuts that I want to point at it and pick it out. When I tell you he has been so satisfied with everything we've gotten from Butcher Box, and gosh, it makes life so much easier. My favorite thing about Butcher Box is definitely the convenience and the quality of the meat. And then cost, of course, is another benefit. You're not paying nearly as much as when you're going to the grocery store and buying it. And if you sign up today at butcherbox.com/Fitish and use the code Fitish, you're going to get flank steak for free in every box for 3 months, plus $20 off your first order. This is such a special deal. What's better than some free meat with all the other great meat you're going to get? I'm talking grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken, pork raised crate-free, wild-caught seafood, humanely raised, no antibiotics or added hormones, free shipping always. And of course, you can customize it if you're like, Jenna, I really don't like wild-caught seafood. That's totally fine. You can pile on the beef if that's your favorite. Just go to butcherbox.com/Fitish and use the code Fitish to claim this deal. Again, you're going to get flank steak for free in every box for 3 months, plus $20 off that first order when you go to butcherbox.com/Fitish and use the code Fitish. Welcome back to the show. So, Francisco, I asked him what he wanted to talk about on the show today, and you said, tell me what you said. Tell
So
everyone.
it is mind blowing. I was listening to this the other day, and it's like Father's Day is the 20th most popular or least popular. I don't know how you want to call it.
Yeah, most popular, 20th.
Most popular holiday in the country.
I'm surprised it's even that high.
Mother's Day is the second
Fuck yeah.
after Christmas.
It's Christmas and Mother's Day?
No. I think it's Christmas, Mother's Day, Easter, Columbus Day is in between.
Yeah.
Juneteenth.
Important. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
Very
Juneteenth
important.
is in between.
All very important.
Like National Margarita Day, it's after Mother's Day, I'm
Taco
sure.
Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday is like 19.
National Best Friends Day.
100%. Like
National
I think,
Hydration Day is
Yeah,
actually today.
I think
Yeah.
like right testicle cancer day is like 18.
Yeah, I mean, but that's technically
It's just crazy how
Men only.
unpopular. Like, I think we have a very valid role in the raising of the kid
yeah.
for being pushed.
How did you feel about Father's Day for you this year?
It was amazing.
I had a hard time. Fran loves, we were just talking about Butcher Box. Fran loves to cook meat. I mean, almost every single night he's cooking a steak because he's been on this diet. So like I know men are just different in this way, like, but they get stuck. Like he literally eats like a steak and broccoli or cauliflower rice and cauliflower like every single night for dinner for 7 weeks. It's fucking crazy. Like I cannot eat the same thing like that every night. But I've been wanting to get him a grill. And like every year I'm like, okay, I'm going to surprise him. I'm going to get him a grill. I mean, the other day you placed the camera in the kitchen it's actually brilliant. And this is like a brilliant kind of stoner move. Rocket scientist stuff, right? He places one of our Wise cameras that we use we have cameras throughout the house, these little boxes. They're great cameras, by the way. So you can see, all 10 cameras we have like on an app on our phone, but we have 2 in the kitchen. So he takes one of them and he places it onto the meat thermometer. So from bed, we can watch the meat thermometer. Whereas most of y'all know these days, there are plenty of meat thermometers that just sync with your phone.
And mine does that, but it wasn't syncing.
Yeah. So, but I wanted to get him like a cool grill. Like I thought he loves to cook. You're a great cook. You make meat all the time. You're great with the cast iron. I mean, you do the cast iron skillet, then you do the oven, you let it sit. Like you've perfected the steak, the indoor steak, as I like to call it. But man, there's just something, maybe you and I are different. I hate to grill myself. I don't know how to do it. I'm no grill master. But like in the summer, especially, when people are grilling out and it's like that smell of like corn and burgers and like, you're like, someone's grilling, and it like actually makes you like want to like go find the neighbor that's doing it, because it's just, I'm just like a raccoon outside.
And nobody's actually grilling. They just drop meat in the ground.
I love the grill. I just love the grill. It's like the American summer dream, Like I just love
It's
the
like
grill.
the 4th of July.
It is, but I love it. And like I love grill food, right? Like just the veggies. So I see I'm talking my mouth's watering and I'm sick right now too. Like I have hardly eaten in days and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get a grill. So anyway, I wanted to get a girl for Father's Day as I've wanted to do for like the last 3 Father's Days. And every time I like to tell Fran because I always want to get him something that he likes. And you can be I don't want to say you're hard to buy for because you like everything, but I don't always love just like getting you as most of us women do, right? Like you go get them clothes and things like that, which I know you appreciate, but I've wanted to get a girl like something that you would really kind of nerd out over and love, like a cool grill. And every time I tell him I want to get him a grill, he's like, not interested. So he directly tells me he does not want one. So I don't do it because we all know, like, even to get a decent grill, that's pretty expensive. Some of the ones I look at are like $800 minimum, probably. And I'm like, I'm not going to get him something that he doesn't love because I love the idea, but I like the idea of him grilling. Like, I don't want to do it that badly. So anyway, no grill. So I ended up getting you some paraphernalia, some like some like all different kinds of like
Workout
I
clothes.
got him workout clothes and like a lot of like edibles and smokables and stuff from the store. Like I thought that was kind of a fun
Yeah,
little treat.
amazing.
But yeah, I didn't
I gone through everything besides the workout clothes.
well, they weren't it was more like leisure clothes. It wasn't straight workout clothes.
Athleisure.
Athleisure. Yeah, I got
Yeah.
you some like comfy athleisure stuff in a size smaller because I feel like you've lost so much weight.
So the things that I'm from Mexico City. My dad,
Hola.
amazing in the grill.
Yeah.
We have a built-in outdoor kitchen in my
I
father's house,
know.
which
I
is
mean, we
like
go to your house, you all have
he
aprons. You put
has
on aprons, you all
he has like
grill.
5 different grills,
I
like
know.
Argentinian style, like
Yeah.
Brazil, like all sorts. But the thing that we're missing is the fucking weather. Like, when do you feel comfortable? Like, I don't like how people do it
It's true.
in Dallas. I don't like to grill to eat inside. Like people that take the food outside to eat inside, bullshit. I like the whole romance of people sitting outside
Yeah.
in the yard
But
with
Fran,
music, everybody around the grill with the people that is
this is the
cooking.
thing about central Mexico, Mexico City, and some of these other places. Like, yes, the weather is the most ideal weather that you could hope for. You know how people talk about this Northern California weather in a way. Granted, it never even gets that cold in Mexico City. The weather is every day, 70 something during the day, if that, kind of chilly at night, but not too chilly to be outside. Like it's just a dream. And yes, it's perfect because you can like grill outside, hang outside, play in the grass. Like it's so nice. You're right. But like, I mean, what do you want? I could hose you off.
No, so what I'll be very happy if I'm gonna be hot. I want everybody to be hot around, like chit chatting and stuff. Not people like I'm cooking outside and you all just sitting inside with the cool ass AC.
Yeah. You want me to set up an outdoor table and we sit outside and eat?
Yeah, but that'll be miserable for everybody. So we
But
can do it
that's
in
what
the
it
fall.
takes to get some grilling from you.
We can
Yeah.
do it in the
Well,
fall.
let's be real. A grill to a certain extent is like a convertible. It's so fucking great, but you can only use it every now and then,
Yeah.
right? So you're saying it would have been nice now that we've talked through it.
Yeah, but I think it's one of those things that I much rather.
I also don't want to pick one out for you. Like
Yeah,
I'd
I
like to do
much
it
rather buy
together.
it
Yeah.
and we can like. I think you're
I would
very
be so
generous and nice with gifting, but this is something that I would like to put my full input in it.
Man, I got so mad a couple Christmases ago. I don't think I told you all this. There's some, not like a Grills R Us. What was it called? I want to call them out because they were so bad. The one on Lovers Lane,
Yeah,
and I
it's
went
called
in
grill bosses or
Grill Boss. It's not called Grill Bosses.
Pete
What?
Pete something.
I don't know. It's on Lovers Lane in Dallas, though. They were so mean to me. I walk in there and it's like, I
Did
want to.
you ask? Do you guys have a
You
grill?
know what's funny? Actually, it was way before Christmas. It was because I wanted to do it for your birthday. So your birthday's Thanksgiving. So it was in the beginning of November. I went in. So like 2 weeks before Fran's birthday. And I went in. They were so snooty to me, first of all, the guy, like give me like, why are you this way? That is great that your expertise is grills, but like, aren't you trying to sell a grill to me? Like, help the helpless woman coming in, and I'm nice, and I'm like, I went in with kind of like I knew they had some of the brands. I wanted to just maybe ask, and so I pick a grill out. This grill was expensive, mind y'all, right? Like, this was a nice grill with the Bluetooth features, and it was nice. Like, I thought Fran, it had like maybe a smoker on the side. Like, it was a setup. Obviously, you need to get it delivered, and you need someone to install it. And so I was like, "Hey, like, my partner's birthday's in a few weeks and I wanna get this. Like, could I get it?" He looked at me, he goes, "You're joking, right?" I'm like, "What do you am I joking? No, I'm not. Is the grill business funny? Like, no, I'm not fucking joking. Like, what do you mean joking? Like, what?" He was so weird, and he was like, "You're kidding, right?" And I'm like, "Kidding about, like, the grill?" And he was like, "I mean, like, we're at least, 12 weeks away from being able to deliver this. Like, we have so many other important Christmas orders." And I'm like, "Well, it's November 3rd." I was so put off by that experience. Like, I felt like
What
it
an
was like it
asshole.
was like the grill version of Pretty Woman. Like, I wanted to, like, come back later and, but I'm like, "No, I don't know what I'm gonna do here." Like, I was like, "Okay." Like, I walked out of there so dejected. When you have those experiences that you're like, I'm gonna leave a Google review. That's why you have to be so careful. And I hate it as a business owner because we definitely get some really unrealistic kind of customer service issues, just being honest. Someone will be like, my bottle broke, and we look at the order and it's literally from 3 years ago, and they're really mad about it. And like maybe it's some of y'all that are listening, and but we always rectify it. We literally always, hey, we do keep track so you can't scam us multiple times. We can see everyone's order history, but like we always rectify it because, like, that's what you do. You wanna be a good customer. Why are you being shitty to me? Like, I don't know the girl business. I don't know that I'm 12 weeks away. I thought I could just walk in. Or I was like, "Okay, so what if I just, like, bought it and could pay someone to come pick it up?" And he was just like, "No." It was the weirdest encounter. I don't know why. Maybe he just didn't like me or something. I don't know. It was so strange. I wanted to leave a review, but then I didn't. I was just very mad for a couple hours.
It's just so funny
And I
because
have not. I've been traumatized. I have
I
not
like
gone to get
I
a grill
never
since.
thought about that, but it was at that same time, like, I'm pretty sure you worked in a car dealership and they would have tell you exactly the same thing. Like everything was in such a huge demand. Right now, I'm pretty sure that motherfucker will give you a 50% discount
Yeah.
and will deliver it yesterday.
Yeah. So weird, isn't it? Or just explain to me without, like, laughing about it. It was so weird. I was just like, "What? What in the grill
So
store?"
cocky. You sell fucking grills.
I don't know. I mean, I don't wanna diminish someone, but, it's that I just would never expect that. It's almost like I had walked into a Chanel store or something looking homeless, and you, like, fully that's another thing that drives me crazy is, like, how rude certain and, I mean, I haven't had that experience in Chanel mainly because I don't ever go in there, but, like, you go into a designer store and the salesperson's snooty and you're kind of like, we probably, like, make a similar amount of money, like, why what they work in a certain store and then they, like, talk down to you, and that whole vibe is always so off-putting and weird, and I just don't understand the
Yeah,
psychology
it's
of it because
just
it's like, don't you wanna make a sale, especially at any store like that? It's commission. Of course, these girl guys are getting commission off anything they sell,
yeah, it's just crazy.
and then I'm like, "Am I not trying to buy a nice enough grill? Like, what's happening here?" I don't know, it was very weird, so I'm girl traumatized. That being said, I would still love to get a grill situation going on.
Now I know what to give you for your birthday.
Grill?
Yeah.
Next year? I have to wait a year for the grill?
Well, I'm gonna give you an early birthday. Call me
I
generous.
don't want a grill for my birthday. Okay, okay, I'll take a grill, that's fine. I actually, once you become a homeowner, I think you do kinda geek out, right, over certain things. Like, I had someone come do wallpaper the other day and paint, like, the kind of honeydew sort of, like, house list of things that you want. I've never been that woman that's like, "Don't buy your wife workout equipment or vacuum and stuff," because I know there are some women out there that are like, "Okay, if you clean a lot or you exercise, like, you actually would get really giddy over certain things like that." It's just kind of one of those rules you're not supposed to buy people, but, like, it's different. Like, if you were building stuff and you wanted a tool set, you'd be excited if I got you some kind of cool
Like a
tool
tool set will be
situation. I know
amazing.
you've been wanting, like, a little, he shed, man cave.
No, no, no. I've been looking for a big like snap-on. Well, it doesn't have to be snap-on because those are
Snap-on, strap-on?
no, like a big desk with my toolbox thing to
Oh,
put all
yeah?
my tools that I don't have right
All your
now.
tools that you don't have. You have a one tool What do you ever
bag,
call this? A bag?
a tool satchel.
A tool satchel.
So yeah, so I need to grow my tool. I'll be
Okay.
doing more stuff.
Shit. Well, I guess I could have done that for Father's Day. That would have been nice. But then again, I don't know what kind of wrenches you want, you know? I don't know what kind of tools you want for your set. I
That's
feel like
valid.
that's really specific, you know?
I'm gonna make a list just in case.
Okay. That sounds good. Yeah, give me something to go on.
I'm gonna have like, you know what? I'm gonna have like when we had Remy, I'm gonna have like a registry, a tool
A
registry.
registry.
Yeah.
That's actually a great idea. Why do we as couples not have registries like ongoing for each other? That's a great idea, Fran. We should. You should just register in general. The registry never expires. You just register
Yeah,
for
like if you
life.
want to give something
Yes.
someone, it's like you just go into their registry. It's like, oh my god, he has like a, of course.
You have relatives at any point. I mean, we've gotten away from the gift giving, which I kind of like. Like, we don't over gift anymore. You know, sometimes we're like, let's just do experiences, but experiences could be on the registry. You know,
Yeah,
that's a great idea.
100%.
I like this. This is a nice business idea. It's just the registry for life. Because, you know, a lot of people talk about how, let's say, yeah, you never have a baby or you never get married, you know, and part of getting married, of course, is that's where you get, you know, that's been the one thing about me
I'm gonna start
never
it. You
wanting to
know,
have a wedding is like you don't, granted, I also, you know, when you don't have a big family
I'm gonna call Calvin
or
from Bottle Rocket.
yeah, let's call him. Or you don't have a lot of money, you know, you hate I'm just the type of person I hate putting people out, like, "Buy me gifts, go travel to a wedding abroad." Like, I don't know. I just don't love it. And so, you know, but it is cool when people get married and you get nice china that you only use a couple times a year, but it's still cool. So when you buy a house, you, like, have stuff if you wanna have, you know, the twice a year, like the Thanksgiving, Christmas dinner, you know, the important
No, but it's so
holidays.
amazing because, like, let's say you have a client and
Yeah.
you know that that client has a registry. You know you're not gonna fucking buy them something they don't like.
Yeah, I like it. Everyone's just branded with a registry. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a pretty cool idea. I don't know, you know, it would take time to monetize that. It's kinda like the baby list, you know, baby list is great.
It's not. It's not because you make a commission out of everything that anybody and everybody has in the registry, and then you start selling ads. It has multiple streams
Yeah,
of
of
revenue.
revenue. It takes some work though, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's a nice idea. Okay, well, we could start our
I'm
own
just gonna
registry.
market. If someone start this business after today, I'm gonna sue you.
You can't. You don't own any of it.
Yeah, but I started with the idea, and I know they heard it.
It's really hard. Would be really hard to win that, by the way. Like
I'll partner
it's
you.
like the
I don't know.
Facebook lawsuit all over again. We'll partner up if you wanna put the effort in. All right. Well, I hope you're checking out everything we have going on with Fitish Skin Week this week. We have so many cool promos and freebies every day. I think we're gonna start opening up our retail space here soon too. It's under construction right now, so people can come in and shop. But check us out, fitish.com, because we have a lot going on this week. And yeah, if you have any questions for the show, as always, info@fitish.com is the best place to send those. And we'll see you next week.
And if you need real estate, call me. Bye.